This Elly Cruz kid is stupid. He showed off his all-time speed yet again against the Cardinals. He beat out an infield single to first base. Craig Biggio of the Blue Jays, he barreled up a massive home run, and he very much enjoyed it. And I just want to say that the Oakland Athletics might not be the worst team in baseball anymore. We'll talk about that in today's MLB Recap, a series in which we recap every single game almost every single day. And also, do not forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon. The first game I want to talk about, the Rockies and the Padres. Ezequiel Tovar, the rookie, he is slowly starting to come around offensively. The 21-year-old is now hitting .350 with 2 home runs over his last 13 games. Jake Cronenworth, he's trying to break out as well after a terrible start to the season. He put his team up by 2 after a long 2-run home run. Blake Snell, he was absolutely insane. He punched out 12 Rockies over 7 innings, and over his last 3 starts, he has 27 strikeouts and 1 earned run over 19 innings. He's been really good. But as soon as he left the game, Colorado, they turned it up. Nolan Jones, he got on base for Coco Montes, and that's a moment that he'll never forget. Coco's first home run is a game-tying long ball, and shout out to both Coco and his brother Nico. I guess they have been watching MLB Recap for the last 3 or 4 years, so that's an awesome moment for not only me, but you guys as well. I mean, it's crazy who watches these videos. The vibes were immaculate until a wild pitch allowed San Diego to steal the lead back in the 9th inning. Lead? What lead? Ryan McMahon demolished a 445-foot solo home run, his 10th of the season, and no way he did it. Nolan Jones, my friend, went 475 feet for the win. He's hitting .360 with 4 home runs and 4 stolen bases in his first 15 games of the season. I'm so happy considering Cleveland, my team, we gave up on him way too soon, and now he's breaking out. We'll talk about the A's in just a second, but real quick, I want to talk about the Pirates because Andrew McCutchen, he began this game with a huge milestone base hit. He became the newest member of the 2000 base hit club. If he keeps this up, honestly, he could become the 16th outfielder ever to have 2,000 hits, 400 doubles, 300 home runs, and 200 stolen bases in a single season. I mean, guys on that list, Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, so McCutchen has been really good. As you just saw, Jeff McNeil, he delivered one into the seats to give the Mets a 1-0 lead, but Pittsburgh, they immediately answered back. Jack Sawinski now has 13 home runs, and Tucupita Marcano, he had the game winner. Yes, the game winner came in the 4th inning. That's because the Pirates had Mitch Keller on the bump. He is now 8-2 on the season after delivering 7 more strong innings. He had 7 strikeouts, only 1 earned run. David Bednar has been absolutely lights out for years now. 14 saves. The Pirates are 7-3 over their last 10 as they beat the Mets 2-1. So right after this Diamondbacks and Tigers game, we'll talk about the A's and the Jays game. The Diamondbacks, they're looking for their 5th win in a row, and they were facing off against a Tigers team that could be losers of 9 in a row. They have not been the same ever since Riley Green went down with an injury. Pavin Smith, he sent one out for a 2-run home run, and Zach McKinstry of the Tigers, he kind of took over from there. He belted a 2-run tater in the 4th and then made a sick catch in right field to rob Arizona of extra bases. Zach Allen, maybe his worst start of the year so far. He's going to need his top 5 offense to bail him out from getting an L. Corbin Carroll, he hasn't just been playing like a rookie of the year favorite. He's been playing like an MVP type of player. His RBI single swung the momentum back to Arizona as Christian Walker, he stole the lead back. His 2-run double was followed up by Perdomo having another RBI with runners in scoring position. He has been so clutch all year long. Arizona, they do in fact make the comeback. They have won 5 in a row. They are now 3.5 games ahead of anyone in the NL West. They have been playing out of their minds. So we just saw the Diamondbacks win their 5th in a row. You know who else is looking for their 5th win in a row? The Oakland Athletics. Now, it did start off a little bit rough. Elly, he's up to 8 home runs, 16 stolen bases, and a 110 OPS plus. Owen Miller of the Brewers, he made it 2-zip in the 3rd. Just Seth Brown, he is very good at hitting baseballs very far. He has so much raw power, so he had to use all of his strength, but he does get that baseball out for a 3-run bomb. Brent Roker, he made it back-to-back. He has 13 home runs and a 150 OPS plus. JP Sears, he's been so good lately. He has a 2.3 ERA over his last 5 starts. He limited the Brewers to just those 2 runs early on. Oakland, they decided 4 runs was not enough. They made it a 5 spot on Kevin Smith's 4th home run of the year. Estee Ruiz, the rookie with 31 stolen bases, by the way, he ripped a 2-run double as the other rookie, Ryan Noda, made it an 8 spot. And even though they tried to blow it in the 9th inning, Oakland, they do close it out. They win 8-6. They are in fact winners of 5 in a row. If we're talking about all of the teams in Major League Baseball, the A's are 6th in scoring the last week. tip of the cap to them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the 5th inning of the Jays and the Twins game. After that Royce Lewis single in the 5th, it was all Minnesota. The Twins found themselves up 6-1, but things quickly took a turn for the worst after a botched double play from Carlos Correa. That allowed an extra base runner to get on, and Matt Chapman said, "Thank you very much, my dear friend." He barreled up a 2-run home run to put Toronto right back in it. They're down by just 2 runs now. We head to the 8th. They're still down by 2. Not down anymore. Craig Biggio deposited that baseball 425 feet for a go-ahead 3-run tank job, and he really enjoyed that. That was probably his biggest moment of the last few years. Romano, he now has 18 saves. It blows my mind that the Jays are 37-30. They're amazing on paper, yet they're almost 11 games back of the first place Rays. That's how good the Rays and also the AL East has been all year. Now, because we just talked about the AL East standings, let's recap this Yankees and Red Sox game, shall we? 2 teams that are in the AL East. Justin Turner, he's having himself a pretty nice season for a 38-year-old. He has 8 home runs and an almost 350 on base percentage. That's pretty solid, but it kind of sucks when you compare his numbers to JD Martinez. Anyways, New York, they momentarily took the lead on a 2-run double from Jose Trevino, but that was all that they could muster off of the youngster Brian Bayo. Bayo went 7 innings. He allowed just 2 runs on 3 base hits, and he's going to watch his team step up for him so he doesn't have to take the hard L. Duran, he grounded out to tie it in the 8th inning. So Bayo, again, he's bailed out from taking the L. Enrique Hernandez, he clutched up in the 10th. His single makes it 3-2. Now, it would have been more had Billy McKinney not made a sick catch for the Yankees in the top of the 10th inning, but that catch ended up meaning nothing as the Yankees were torn apart by Chris Martin. Chris Martin has been amazing, by the way. So is Kenley Jansen. So a couple signings like Masataka Yoshida, Justin Turner, Chris Martin, Kenley Jansen, some decent signings for Chaim Bloom, who is not having the worst season ever. We're going to talk about the Angels game and the Orioles game in just a second because Gunnar Henderson and Zach Neto, I mean, they're absolutely going off as rookies. But real quick, the Guardians and the Astros, this game almost made me emotional because the Guardians, they clinched a series against the Astros, a game in which Andres Gimenez and Josh Bell both hit home runs, which is huge considering they both have kind of sucked to begin the season. Friend of the channel, Tyler Glasnow, he narrowly missed his first career home run. He had to settle for an RBI double. All of that was for Biebs, and Biebs was Biebs. Shane shut down the Astros over 7. He finally had some nasty stuff. He struck out more than 3 or 4 hitters for once. He struck out 9 over 7 innings. He only walked 1. Don't look now, but the Guardians, they're 1.5 games back of first place. Don't look at their record, though. In my opinion, their record is misleading. They're about to catch fire. All right, here we go. The Angels and the Mariners. The Mariners have not been playing their best baseball as of late, and that sucks right there. Taylor Ward now has 8 home runs, but that kind of makes sense considering he's been raking since last year. But this game was won by a bunch of guys that basically had 0 impact on last year's team, mainly this kid right here. Zach Neto, he went 420 feet for his first home run of the day. Stay tuned for a second. I do have to show off Matt Thaiss and Renfroe. They ripped some RBI doubles. Thaiss has a 115 OPS plus as a catcher, and Renfroe, he finally clutched up with runners in scoring position. Now we're going to skip to the 8th inning where Neto popped off for a second of the game. That's his first career multi-home run game. He has 5 home runs, 5 stolen bases, and 3 defensive run saves. He's been really good. The Angels beat their division rivals, the Mariners, 9-4. I cannot wait to talk about this next game. The Orioles and the Royals. Ramon Urias has quietly put up some stupid numbers over the last 2 seasons. He has 48 extra base hits, a 106 OPS plus, and an almost 5 WAR over his last 161 games. He and Josh Lester brought home 2 between the 1st and the 3rd innings as Aaron Hicks, he stayed hot. He laced an RBI double in the 4th inning. The O's, they weren't done just yet though. Rookie Gunnar Henderson, he has been a cheat code for almost 2 weeks now. He's hitting .394 with 4 home runs over his last 9 starts after that near 470-foot blast. Ryan O'Hearn, he has 4 home runs and a near .330 batting average. The Orioles win 11-3 over the Royals, who in my opinion are the most disappointing and probably the most pathetic team in baseball, even worse than the A's. I would say that the Royals, considering they didn't try to, fully implode, the fact that they're so bad is almost mind-blowing. Here we go, the Phillies and the Dodgers. The Vegas boys got it going early against LA with Harper driving in 1 on a single and Bryson Stott making it a 3 spot. By the way, Bryson Stott is hitting .292 with an almost .340 on base percentage, so he's been a whole lot better this year. Taijuan Walker, he's been absolutely lights out since I said that he was stealing money from the Phillies. 5 more shutout frames. That is back-to-back outings where he did not allow a single run to score. Nick Castellanos, he's back to being prime Castellanos. His 8th home run gets him into the 40 RBI club. He's hitting .312 with an almost 140 OPS plus. The Phillies win 7-3, which is also their record over their last 10 games. The Rays and the Rangers, Texas and Tampa Bay split split the first 2 games of the series, so whoever wins game 3 wins the series. Randy and company, they put Tampa Bay up in a flash. It was 4-0 after the first 2 innings when Texas, they decided it was their turn to score. Grossman had a home run against a lefty because of course he did. Semien had an RBI double, and Seager, he had an RBI single. So the Rangers are nipping at the heels of Tampa Bay when Wander Franco said enough of that, time to rip this thing fully open. His 3-run tater ups his stat line to a mind-blowing 300 batting average with 8 home runs, 22 stolen bases, and 9 DRS, 9 defensive run saves already. He leads baseball in F4. He's still just 22 years old. McClanahan struck out 5 over 7. He is MLB's very first starting pitcher to 12 wins. Here we go, the Reds and the Cardinals. Later on, we're going to show off Elly de la Cruz and his all-time speed. Real quick, Jonathan India, he's having himself an incredible bounce-back season, at least offensively. Reds fans, you know what I'm talking about with his defense. He has 7 home runs and 12 stolen bases. Good for him. And here's the superstar in the making, the freak athlete Elly de la Cruz. He ties it at 2-2. Arenado, he broke the tie moments later with an RBI 3-bagger, so the Reds, they're going to have to show some fight, and they've been showing fight all week long, so that's no problem. Tyler Stevenson brought home Elly in the 6th inning, and staying with Elly, he got on base again in the 8th. He was on base 4 times in this game. He got to 3rd base, and then, to be honest, this was not a smart play on his behalf, but he is so fast. He made the Cardinals rush as Wilson Contreras, he drops it after kind of a bad throw in my opinion. So Elly put his team up by 1. Alexis Diaz had a 1-2-3 inning. Cincinnati, they've won 2 in a row. They're 4 games back of first place. The Cubs and the Giants, listen, I know that there was a few RBI singles and stuff like that, but we're going to focus on 2 guys in this game. The first one, Jock Peterson, he belted 2-run home runs before the 3rd even came to a close. He's hitting .282 with a 154 OPS plus. The second guy we got to talk about, Thairo Estrada, he also had 2 home runs, 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th. That second was a 3-run no-doubter. He has 9 home runs, 14 stolen bases, and a 130 OPS plus. It got so bad for the Cubs that the Giants put out Brandon Crawford to finish out the game, and he was throwing 89 to 90 miles an hour. He tossed a scoreless 9th inning to close this one out. The Giants are now a game over 500. They have the 11th best OPS in baseball and the 10th best ERA, so they're kind of a good team, but they're kind of middle of the road as well. If you guys like home runs, this is going to be a fun game for you. Jorge Soler, he showed off the all-time pop again. Like, not even being dramatic, Jorge Soler is easily one of the most powerful hitters I've ever seen. That was his first of 2. Luis Robert Jr., he blasted off as well. 15 home runs and 8 outs above average in center field. I mean, an incredible talent Luis Robert Jr. is. Why did I sound like Yoda? There's Soler again, his 19th of the season. Miami, they're not done with the long balls just yet. Garrett Cooper and Gene Segura, they both hit baseballs very far, bringing it to a 1-run deficit. And Brian De La Cruz, he stepped in and he clutched up yet again. He's been on fire for over a month now. He ripped a go-ahead 2-run extra base hit. He was fired all the way up. AJ Puck, he tossed a scoreless bottom of the 9th to hold off the White Sox. Miami, they are 8 games over 500, and they're 8-2 over their last 10. And look at that, they're 3.5 games back of the first place Atlanta Braves. The Miami Marlins are ahead of schedule. They're good. Speaking of the Braves, let's see if the Braves can beat the Nationals. Ronald and Matt Olson, they teamed up for a 2-run home run. Olson's 18th of the season, but Washington, they're going to hold off Atlanta the rest of the way. Combine that with the offense feeling themselves, it ended up being a pretty nice day at the office for the Nationals. After Keibert Ruiz and Joey Meneses tied it on some RBI singles, Washington, they brought out the boomsticks. Jameer had a 2-run blast, his 7th, and oh my, Dom Smith did not miss that one. 445 feet deep into the bleachers. Atlanta, they tried to spark a rally in the bottom of the 9th, but Alex Call, he erased a potential momentum shifter with a amazing catch in center field. He kind of Michael Harris. We know Harris is one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball, so take that, Michael Harris. That's how you make others feel. The Washington Nationals beat the Braves 6-2. So that does it for today's MLB recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, do not forget to leave a like, and also if you're brand new, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.